ULTRAKILL is, very strictly said, far from a finished game. At the time of recording this video, only the first 7 layers have been released, with the game still being in early access. The final 2 layers and various other updates are actively in the works, but so far we can only speculate as to what they may have to offer. I, like many other people, have had my own theories and headcanons for the upcoming layers and bosses, which I made quite a few videos about if you want to view them on my channel. However, an aspect of the game's storyline I don't hear getting a lot of traction is what happens after the main 9 layers are completed. I mean, yeah, the climax of the game is probably going to be us facing off against Gabriel one last time, but what then? Is it just going to be another level end and then cut to credits? Or something far more interesting to close off the story? In this short video, I'll present some of the theories as to what may happen after the 9th layer, how they fit into the narrative of ULTRAKILL in my opinion, and how likely they are to happen given what we have to work with in the game so far. Even though ULTRAKILL is the definition of a linear game, with every level beginning and ending with the same elevator, or elevator, I get it, I've seen a lot of people theorize that the very last level would take a much more different approach. One theory I've had commented on some of my videos is the idea that after Gabriel's defeat, we will get some sort of playable cutscene where we make our way back to the mouth of hell as it collapses in on itself, trying to crush V1 as it's completed its purpose, to entertain hell. Just like you should crush that subscribe button, by the way. Crossing backwards through a short summary of the previous layers, maybe a room dedicated to each one, would be really sick to see, especially if we're in a time crunch like the flooding chamber of 7-4. Whether V1 escapes back to the surface of the earth and eventually succumbs to blood starvation there, or gets forever trapped in the preying, incomprehensible beast that is hell itself, would be equally fitting to the narrative and the theme of ULTRAKILL has going on, since it's a matter of time before Hell 2 is empty. There is, however, another realm that is flowing full of fresh red nectar. Another pretty plausible theory is that V1 manages to get to heaven, with it becoming another layer or epilogue, sort of like the entrance to hell was in the beginning of the game. This could be seen as Gabriel not only alienating himself from the light of God and the council of heaven before his death, partly by slaughtering them like cattle, but from heaven itself, letting V1 continue his rampage and destroy heaven for good. After his defeat, he could command on the machine's unconscious ruthlessness, give V1 one of his swords, and use the last of his light to transport V into heaven, and then dies, after which the usual end screen is displayed, this time with us being in some sort of portal powered by the light. After all this, we get access to the epilogue, where we could plow through heaven in a similar fashion to hell, this time with the yellow arm, or Gabriel's sword, unlocked. Maybe most of, if not all of the enemies being angels or heaven's residents would be fitting, a lot of them not fighting back as the realm falls into chaos after the council's massacre, although some greater angel-type enemies would be really amazing to see. Of course, to fit in ULTRAKILL's theme of beautiful and poetic despair, we could have the ending be V1 void of fuel decaying on Earth, seeing the moon slowly come down to hit it. This is because heaven is most likely located on the moon, as Gabriel takes refuge under the moonlight in one of the cutscenes, while he contemplates his devotion to the Father and the Council. I think this would beautifully conclude ULTRAKILL's tragedy, with all coming to dust in the end, and the last embers of blood energy slowly fading. It's all a matter of time before the fire is gone. Oh my god guys, he said the thing, he did the thing. I've heard some people say that we could fight hell itself, or even God in the epilogue, maybe as a third prime soul. But as I've said a couple of times before in my videos, this wouldn't be the best idea, and here's why. Hell itself, not to mention the Father, is not exactly something you can hurt. It's more of a cruel, omnipotent realm that simply displays characteristics of a sadistic entity. I'm sure Hikita is a fantastic game dev and writer, but I'm not sure if it's even possible to fit an entire non-Euclidean dimension into a singular boss fight, for either Hell or God. Sure, us defeating Hell's core and whatnot would make its collapse make more sense, and serve as some insane power scaling, but the entire point of Hell is that it's so powerful that even God, who is the definition of omnipotence, couldn't unmake it, which in turn made him go fucking mental. Talking about the divine crash out that is the Father, absolutely not. He is literally God. This isn't fucking Genshin Impact or some shit. He doesn't even have a physical manifestation that we can pull some wacky coin bullshit on, and that's pretty much all you need to know about my stance on this theory. It's just completely outlandish to think that we'd actually fight him. All in all, I believe that V1 succumbing to starvation somewhere in hell, be it at its very mouth, or starving to death in the frozen deserts of treachery, or going on a rampage through heaven with Gabriel's help would both be very plausible theories, unlike us taking down hell ourselves, which would make very little logical and narrative sense in my opinion. Although it would make V1 even more badass than she already is. What do you think about these theories, and what do you think would happen after we defeat Gabriel in 9-2? Let me know down in the comments below, because I love hearing y'all's theories and concepts for this game. As always, this was Cold Brew, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.